Welcome back, friends, to another math lesson. I'm Professor Pandemic, and today we're going to talk about finding area. Now, area is finding out how much space a 2D shape, a two-dimensional shape, takes up. So if you've watched my previous video on perimeter, you know that perimeter is distance around one of those two-dimensional figures. Area is trying to find all the space that's inside the fence. So after you've built the fence, you want to know how much farm space you have, for example. And one of these units we're going to talk about, they're known as square units. So sometimes you're going to find area using these units. Today we're just going to find normal rectangles. But when finding the area, there's a formula. Area equals L times H, length times width. And it's really important that you know what the length and the width of the shape are. Sure, you might be able to just throw the numbers in there and, as you see, multiply and come up with an answer. But when we get to volume or composite volume or maybe even composite area, knowing the right length and width, or length and height and width when we get to volume, is going to be extremely important in making sure you get the right answer. So here, area is, the length is 12 inches, the height is 6 inches. 12 times 6 is 72. But notice we have inches squared here, or inches to the second power. That's because we're multiplying now. With perimeter, we added inches and inches. And if you see here, inches plus inches just equals, still equals inches. But when you multiply, that's multiplying 2 inches together, which gets us a square inch, or 2 inches basically. So that's why when you multiply by 2 inches, you ended up with inches squared. With volume, when you multiply by 3 inches, that's when you're going to get inches to the third power, or what we call inches cubed, or cubed inches. So for today, we're only going to be finding the area of rectangles today. So we're going to do a couple examples and see how you do. All right, friends, we have our first problem here. We have 13 centimeters for one side and 21 centimeters for another side. Find the area of this rectangle. Hopefully, friends, you came up with an answer of 273 centimeters squared. So here our length was 13, our width was 21 centimeters. I did my work over here on the side. As you see, friends, you're going to have to be able to multiply double-digit numbers. As you're going to see for the next problem, you're going to have to remember how to multiply decimals. So all the multiplication skills that we've worked on the previous years and units all come back with area. Let's do another problem. As I just previously mentioned, friends, now we have some decimals in this problem. We have 14 and 2/10 feet for one side and 3 4 feet tenth for the other side. Find the area of this rectangle. Hopefully you found 48 and 28 hundredths of a foot squared. As you see here, my length is 14 and 2/10 feet. My width is 3 4/10 feet. I have to multiply together. Remember, multiplying decimals is just like multiplying, except we have to add the decimals back in the end. So as you see here, I have one decimal place here and a second decimal place here, which is why I have 2 decimal places in my answer. Multiplying just like I normally would, and adding here at the end gets us 48 and 28 hundredths of a foot squared. So this is multiplying, basically, but it's also reviewing decimals and reviewing your basic facts, as well as remembering opposite sides are equal for a rectangle. So there's a lot of skills previously built on throughout the year that we use when we're dealing with geometry. Let's do 2 more examples. Well, friends, for this problem, I've thrown a trick at you. I've given you the area, 48 inches squared. I've even given you one side, 6 inches. What you have to do is figure out how you get this other side. I'll give you a second, pause the video if you need it, and try to come up with that answer. Hopefully you ended up with 8 inches, and if you did, you can give yourselves a pat on the back. For this problem, you didn't need to find the area. It's already there. We have 48 inches squared. We also had the width, which is 6 inches. What we needed to do was find the length for this problem. You could do it a couple ways. You could try to sit there and figure out what times 6 gets us 48, which is 8 if you know your basic facts. Or you could divide 48 divided by 6, which is what I did, to come up with that answer of 8. And if you put 8 back in there, 8 times 6 equals 48. For this problem though, remember, it's only inches, not squared inches, because you've already found the square inches, you're just finding one part of the equation that we've previously given to you. Let's do one last problem for this video. All right, friends, for our last problem, I have given you just a straight up area question. We have 25 inches and 36 inches. Find the area. Hopefully, friends, you ended up with 900 inches squared after you multiplied the length of 25 inches by the width of 36 inches. You can see my work down there gives you an answer of 900 inches squared. And this, boys and girls, is how you find the area of a 2D shape. That's a rectangle. There are other ways to find area with triangles. Could be another lesson. But for today's lesson, we have finished. If you have any questions, make sure to ask another adult or another teacher. As for me, I'm Professor Pandemic, saying the more you learn, the more you know. And we'll see you at the next math lesson. Have a great day.